What up, folks? I am quickly going to walk you through how to tie fluoro to braided line via the Uni to Uni knot. And this is one of my favorite knots. It's an extremely simple knot. Basically, it's two Uni knots that are tightened together, and it works extremely well. It makes a really effective knot. It's extremely easy to do. So I'm going to show you here. You want to start off with the two lines parallel to each other like so. You want just to have just enough line for your knot. You don't need too much line out there, or else you're going to end up wasting it. You're going to have a long tag end, and you're going to end up wasting a good bit of your line. And fluorocarbon's expensive, braid's expensive, and you just don't want to waste that. I like to start with the braided line on top of the fluorocarbon, and I pinch the braided line and the fluorocarbon together with my left hand using my index finger and my thumb, as you can see here. I then create a loop with the braided line, over the fluorocarbon, and I pinch that in the same two fingers. I then will take this line from behind the loop and go through it, and I will wrap it around both the braided line and the fluorocarbon like so. 4, 5. So you can see how that's wrapping over the braided line and primarily the fluorocarbon. And generally with the braided line, when I'm using thinner diameter braided line like this for catching redfish, I'm using 15-pound test. I'll generally do around 7 or 8 routes. So I got about 2 more to go here. Boom, and that creates one single Uni knot on that side. So here I'm going to flip this over now, and now I have my my fluorocarbon on top, and I'm going to do the same process. Now I'm pinching the Uni knot that I created the first time around right here, and I'm going to once again create a loop with the fluorocarbon. You can at this point pull the fluorocarbon through a little bit if you need to, just so you're not wasting too much line, so you can get just the right amount of fluorocarbon. This is about as much as I'm going to use here, maybe 2 to 3 inches. I then create that loop once again, take the fluorocarbon, go through the loop once, twice, 3 times, and 4. I like to use my teeth for this. It helps me, and I find that my fingers aren't as, not as effective as my teeth. So I use my teeth, and I'll then pull that tight, and now you have 2 Uni knots, 2 separate Uni knots. You can see the fluorocarbon one right here is not quite as tight as the braided line on the other side, but don't you worry. Once you pull the 2 lines tight, that'll actually tighten up your fluorocarbon Uni knot, and it'll be good to go. So I actually like to wet my knots a little bit with my mouth. I think it helps them cinch down better. I think it forms a better knot. However, recently I was told, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told that if you wet your lines, or you wet your knots, it can actually lower the breaking strength of the knot. So eventually I'm going to test that out, but for today I'm wetting my line because that's how I like to do it. Boom, I pulled them tight, and as you can see, now we have 2 really nice Uni knots that are closely tied together. Both of them are nice and tight. I'm just going to double check the fluorocarbon. It looks good. And at this point, I'm just going to trim the tag ends on both of these. I try not to trim them too close. I try to trim it as close as possible, but not too close, because if you trim it too close, you actually can basically pull the knot through. It'll pull the tag end through, and your whole knot will unravel while fighting the fish, and it ends up leaving you with a little curly cue, and that curly cue is never fun when you hook into a big redfish or snook and you lose them, and you bring it in, you see just that curly cue left. You know that you tied a poor knot, or you basically cut your tags too short. And so this is about the length I'm gonna use today with mine. Sometimes I'll come in a little bit shorter, especially on the fluorocarbon end, because that fluorocarbon knot can hook up on some seagrass when it's sticking out. That little tag end will stick out. Honestly, I'm probably gonna trim this one just a little bit more, which, just like cutting hair, you can always trim it a little bit more if you need to. And boom, all good. It's always good to test the knot afterwards, make sure it's not gonna pull through. If it does, just retie it. So anyways, that is a quick and simple way to attach your fluorocarbon to your braided line via the Uni to Uni knot. Thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more information to help you become a better angler.